Super Rugby Aotearoa is about to get back underway. Thank goodness for that. It's been much anticipated here in New Zealand. The first game we are getting underway with is a great Southern derby between the Highlanders from Dunedin and the Crusaders from Christchurch. I still can't find the magnet with the Crusaders updated logo. I will have a proper cleanup and a proper look at some point, but I am with the old one at the minute. Thank goodness I still have the old one around. Yeah, man, I'll go through the teams. I'll go through the odds, last season's result, and you guys can let me know how you reckon this one might go. Obviously, there's still 0-0, like in terms of wins and losses, so it's first game of the season. Nobody has got any results as yet. The Highlanders have got an interesting start. This game is their first game, and then a couple of away games, so it's not a must win, but the competition is short. You don't get that many games, so they probably need to get things on the front foot pretty early, otherwise it could be a long season. The Crusaders, you get the feeling at home, are probably not going to have much worry in terms of picking up wins, and on the road they'll probably pick up a lot as well. Theirs is the least changed squad in terms of last year to this year, but there's a few guys out for this game in terms of their injury, so maybe the Highlanders can sniff something for this one. So it's a 7:05 game, which is a pretty sweet time for us here in New Zealand. That's a late afternoon, early evening game for you guys in Australia. I know for you guys in Europe and South Africa, that's, what is it, like 6 in the morning or something? They're still sorting out the broadcasters, I believe, in some areas, so just keep refreshing your browsers, and hopefully something gets sorted with either ESPN Plus or Sky Sports in the UK or Rugby Pass or whoever it is. Fingers crossed we can watch it, because on paper it looks to be a cracking one. Squads: Dan Leonard-Brown, Ash Dixon, who's captain, I think co-captain, and Siate Tokolahi is the front row for the Highlanders. They'll be under pressure because you got Joe Moody, Cody Taylor, and Michael Alatoa. So you got 3 international front rowers, 1 for Samoa and 2 for the All Blacks in that Crusaders front row. So they'll be looking to get on top of the Highlanders front row 100%. And then you got Josh Dixon and Jack Regan in the second row for the Highlanders. The locks are Scott Barrett and Sam Whitelock. So it's virtually an All Black type 5, except Michael Alatoa, who's a Samoan international. Like, advantage Crusaders just on paper there for sure. The back row is maybe a bit of a more tasty one. You got Shannon Frizzell, who's probably the leading man in New Zealand for that number 6 jersey at the minute. Billy Harmon, who's joined from the Crusaders, so he should know his former teammates pretty well. And Marino Michele Tu'u, who was a proper block-busting, ball-carrying number 8 last season. So he's going to add some impact as well. Like, of all the areas that are most evenly matched, it's probably the Lucies. The Crusaders have got Ethan Blackadder, who's had a bit of trouble with injury, but looks class when he's fit. Tom Christie, who's also got a hell of a work rate, and Cullen Grace, who, I don't know, he seems to go under the radar a bit, but he's also class. So he's maybe not as flashy as Michele Tu'u, but he will certainly put in a good shift. Aaron Smith against Bryn Hall. Maybe that's one where you give the advantage to the Highlanders. Maybe, definitely. Bryn Hall has been really good since he went down to Christchurch from Auckland. He stepped up his game, playing for a better team than the Blues, to be fair. I say that with a tear in one eye. But Aaron Smith is just, apart from, as by his own words, apart from Antoine Dupont, he's one of the best 9s in the world. So he's going to run that Highlander show. I mean, you saw it last year. The Highlanders really put so much weight on Aaron Smith's shoulders. He was a centerpiece for so many of their moves. So hopefully the team can kind of spread the load a bit with Tony Brown in charge. He'll have some wise thinking, no doubt. Interestingly, they've gone with Mitch Hunt ahead of Josh Iwane. In terms of All Blacks pecking order, Josh seems to be the third guy, but behind Bodie and Richie. So it's interesting that at the Highlanders level they've gone with Mitch Hunt. But again, he's a former Crusader, so maybe he can add a bit of calmness and a bit of experience to that team which is going to come up against them. Richie Mo'unga, number 10 for the Crusaders, as per usual, one of the best 10s in the world. He will look to run the ball. He will look to kick those cross kicks. He will look to distribute. He is kind of a focal point for everything the Crusaders do. Maybe the same way that Aaron Smith is for the Highlanders. Midfield, you've got Tompkinson and Punivai for the Highlanders up against Dallas McLeod, who's relatively inexperienced at this level, only a couple of Super Rugby caps, and Jack Goodhue is at the other end of the experience meter. So in terms of like, compared to the type 5 of the Crusaders, like you look at that midfield and go, okay, Goodhue, yes, McLeod's inexperienced, and then on the Highlanders side, you know, Aaron Smith down to that midfield is a bit of a drop, but Tompkinson and Punivai are both pretty good players, so they'll be wanting to put their hands up. They'll be maybe targeting McLeod's channel a bit, but he's not in the Crusaders side because he's average. You don't make that side if you're average. He's pretty good for an experienced guy. Wingers, Nadeki, Connor Garden-Bishop. I don't know that I've ever seen Connor Garden-Bishop play. But Nadek, he's quick, and Alamalo, who's joined from the Chiefs. Defensively, maybe not the safest guy to have at the back, but that's an all-attacking back three, as far as I know. But give me some insights into Connor Garden-Bishop. Fainganuku is a big unit, and he's quick on that left wing for the Crusaders, so expect to see a lot of ball go his way. We're all familiar with Sevu Reece. Full skill set on him. He's in all black. And then Will Jordan is maybe the most exciting guy in the back line apart from Moonga. He is an elusive runner. He's very quick. If he can stay fit as well, he should get more than the 2 All Blacks caps he's got. So, yeah, good to see him back, because I think he was slightly in doubt before this game. The bench for the Highlanders, you got Coltman, Honeck, Thwaites, Evans, Squire. Liam Squire is one of the guys who's back. There's no Jimeno for this week. Remember, he's only just finished his time in managed isolation after coming over from Japan. So there's Liam Squire. There's no Niki Milner-Skada, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure if he's fit. He's always had trouble with his comeback from injuries. But Liam Squire, good guy to have back in New Zealand. Him and Shannon Frizzell. That's a good matchup to see who starts number 6 going forward. Probably Frizzell, but we'll see. They got Fakatava as the replacement halfback as well. Hopefully he gets some decent minutes and doesn't just come on for like 5 minutes. For the Crusaders, McAllister, Bauer, Fletcher Newell I think is going to get his debut if he comes on. Quinton Strange is back fit. Sione Havili is playing. Mitch Drummond still behind Bryn Hall. Most weeks it seems to be like 75% of the time it's Hall. The other 25 is Drummond. Burke and Fihaki is the other guy who's going to get a debut. There's no Josh Mackay. Remember, he's leaving for Glasgow, so maybe he's going to be a squad player. There's no Rene Ranger, so they've gone with the inexperienced guy McLeod. Give him a crack, see how he goes. Remember, Enor's injured for the season. Bridge is out for the start of the season. Mataele is out for the start of the season. David Havili is out with concussion. Jaeger's out for the start of the season, so maybe it's a good time to play the Crusaders. But you look at the lineup and don't really see. I mean, there's a little bit of an experience, but it's a much changed Highlanders team with a new coach. So either way, the bookies have got the Crusaders by 6 points. Rugby Forecast algorithm saying by 4 points. Last season, it was 20 in Dunedin, 40 points to 20. But remember, if you saw that game last year, it was within 7 points with like 5 minutes to go. And the Crusaders just went like bang, bang, bang and scored 3 quick tries before the death to really make it a blowout. But it was tight. The lead changed a few times in that game. It was just, by the end of the game, the Highlanders guys were maybe a little bit gassed. And, the Crusaders were able to run away with it and make it look like a proper hiding. But it was close for 75 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, Super Rugby Aotearoa, happy days. It is back. It is back. We've got one other game this weekend, but this is the first one off the rank. So you guys let me know how you think it's going to go. You back in the Crusaders to do what they do every year, or do you think the Highlanders with Tony Brown in charge and at home maybe can threaten? If you think you know how the scores are going to go, I'll put the link to the Super Brew pool, which is a predictions game you can play, tipping which side you think is going to win and by how many points. We've got a pool going, so jump on that one as well. It's free to sign up. Why not? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.